I love these guys. That's one for the smoker. Well, I'm back for my annual pilgrimage to the Snowy Mountains. I love the winter fishing, and it's funny that these days, you know, you're always trying to chase the good weather when you go fishing. Unfortunately, or fortunately, when you come up here in winter, the good weather is when it's cold and windy. And today, it is that and some. The white background means she has snowed overnight. The temperature is well into the sub-zeros. And as much as it hurts, it's also really exciting because this is such a good time for big brown trout feeding on the edges. The lake's starting to rise, and fingers crossed, the fishing's going to be really good. All right, that snow was hurting my eyes. Check that out up there. They have had a fair dusting of snow last night. All right, so plan is not to freeze to death. It's really important that you dress correctly for it, and basically this is snow gear. Well, not basically, it is, and it's really important that you are warm before you start. If you're cold before you start, you just can't warm up. What I'm going to do is push up into back bays, and we're just going to be searching for a bit. You can troll, but I'm going to cast because this lake's rising. There's a bit of breeze pushing in here. There's a fair chance these fish will be right up on the edges. There's yabby beds all through this part of the world, and the fish will be pushing in on the yabbies because as the lake rises, the yabbies are moving up the banks, so they're out and active. I don't know why, the water's 7.28 degrees. So anyway, the yabbies are out, the trout will be out. I'm probably going to start just with a jerk bait, then I'll go to plastics. Just see how we go. I want to throw some bigger stuff though. I want to try and find a big one. All right, so confidence level sort of increases as you get into the back of these bays and see that mud is darker in colour, and that's where your yabbies love to be. This is really shallow in through here. So it pays to have a couple of rods rigged too, you know, something that maybe dives 1.5 meters and then something that dives 0.5 meter and a plastic, you know, so you can just alternate when you hit certain areas. You can just keep, you know, fishing with the right lure, doing the right thing. But as we push into the back of this bay, it's good. There's a bit of a real dark section up the back there where the water's flowing in or the water's seeping in. Gotcha. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. That's one for the smoker. These things are wild eating, especially when you're catching them on these areas. So see where we are here, it's like sandy. But as we crawl up into the back, you'll see the bank goes to like this black muddy colour. That's the clay and the mud, and that's where the yabbies are. But this guy would have just been mooching along, doing its thing. Great thing about this is too, this time of year, the fishing is good or can be good all day. So you don't have to worry that it's a dawn or a dusk thing, which is probably more common when it's warmer. But this time of year, these guys are literally, they are loving life. They are just like going, woohoo, 7-degree water, life is good. Alright, bit wrapped up in the net, but stop. If you stop, I can untwist you and we can all have a look. Just obviously got to watch, because the last thing I need is a treble in my hand first thing in the morning. On that, there we go. You can see there, see how that fish is fat. That's not carrying eggs or anything. That fish, I'm pretty sure, would have done its spawning and it's come back, and now it's in feed up mode. But that's a rip and start. It's just jammed that little trout pattern roseanthus. All right, it's lights out for this guy because, like I said, these are wild eating. Their meat is literally bright orange. Happy with that for a kickoff. All right, so I'm going to fish this drop with a plastic. I fished it before with a jerk bait, but I'm wondering if the fish are sitting out a little bit just because it's not that rough here, but they'll still be here. I have no doubt about that. And all I'm doing is sinking this down, a fairly light jig head. And then I want my plastic, the little Crazy Flapper, to look like a yabby going across the bottom. So I either like to just, I'll even just drag it like that, but I do like to make it just as a yabby does, just go like little scoots across the, just off the bottom, like that. And he just pops up probably a foot or two off the bottom. And a lot of your bites will come when the lure hits the bottom again. The trout just come down and go smack. Got ya. Oh, that's a nice fish too. And all I did was fish all the way down into that back bay and did not get a bite except for here. So I've looped back around and I went to a plastic, just a little critter pattern plastic, but it looks a lot like a yabby, and I'm just like popping that along the bottom. You can see this, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but that dark stuff there, that's yabby bed, and there's yabby holes and stuff all in the clay there. You've got breeze pushing on this point, a few boulders, and that's just what the browns love. Come on mate, what are you going to do? A whole lot of carry on. There you go, while you're flopping around carrying on, that's a fine fish. Look at that. Oh, hook fell out. Fat brown trout. Stop, don't do your roll. There's no need for that. Look how thick this fish is. Look at that, that's in prime condition. Another big yabby feeder. So good. I'll tell you what, I'd rather catch half a dozen of these in a day than a whole pile of others, but that's what I ate. The plastic's a bit torn now, but that's a little Keitech Crazy Flapper. And you can see there, see those little arms, they wriggle and carry on as it goes through the water. Looks a lot like a yabby, and that's what these guys are eating. So that is the end result, and I am really stoked with that. All right, this guy's going back. There we go. All right, need a new tail. That one got a little bit chewed up. Okay, so this is them, the Crazy Flapper. I may as well, I do like that green colour, and it's funny that in here a lot of the yabbies are really green colour, but I've got a fish on the brown, so we may as well go with that again. These are a great lure, probably not used as much as what they should be because they catch everything, but that's what it is there. So when you get them, you just got to separate that piece there, that piece there, and that there. Now it's going to wriggle, so it's actually got like a wide little flapper there, so that goes like that as it goes through the water. Too many plastics in the box. Throw away. And then I'll show you, I've got a 1/10 stand-up jig head. All right, and the idea of that is, see how it's not round, it's flat there. So it makes sense that when we rig it, which I'll do here, and you can use a normal jig head, but this just makes me feel better. Makes me feel like I'm doing something special. You've got to make sure he's nice and straight. Slide him on nice and slow. There we go. So that's him rigged there, and then the whole idea is that it goes through the water, has lots of wriggle to it, but when it sits on the bottom, it'll sit like that. So the old trout sees that, and it looks like its claws up in defense mode, and you just go whack. All right, let's catch another one. That was fun. sleepy one in here. He didn't fight a lot, but oh, done him. Keep poking along because there should be more. That's a good one. That's a good fish. That's a nice one. I might just anchor us here. And I've been fishing out in the wind, but I thought I just need a little bit of a break, a bit of food, and it's really important here that you keep the food levels up because it's cold. You burn heaps of energy. So I just came into a little less windy area and just fishing this really dark mud. And I sort of thought there had to be some sort of a fish along here. That's a real nice one. I was sort of fishing this bank fast too, just trying to cover water because it's a big long bank. So just had the electric like crawling along, and I put a zip bait on, which I'll show you in a sec, and the zip bait cast just so well. So I was getting big long casts and covering the water sort of quickly to see if there was fish along this bank, and the quality of the fish I am very happy with. Check out that for a nice fatty. That's a male, got that bigger jaw. Actually thought he was bigger when he ate it. That's a nice one, in prime condition. Look at the shoulders on it. And that's what we're after. Big one like this. I think I'm going to keep that guy because I do want to get a couple of these guys smoked. So that's really good eating size. So that's the lure there. Straighten that treble out when he's rolled in the net. That's a 70mm Riggy SP zip bait, and what makes these cool is they've got a thing in them called mag drive, and there's a metal bar that runs through the middle of this lure and like a little metal piece that slides back and forth, but there's a magnet at this end and a magnet at that end, and when you cast, the weight slides to the back but it locks in place. A lot of them just float back and forth. This one locks in place, puts all the weight right into the tail of that lure, so it rockets through the air, and then the second you twitch it, it ticks forward and the weight slides forward, balances the lure out, and then you're off to retrieve the lure. So great lure for a lot of situations, but for right now I'm trying to cover water, make big long wind assisted casts, and it's just a good piece of gear that, you know, it actually serves a real purpose for what I'm doing here. It's 8-pound leader, it's all good. I don't fish overly light leader in here unless I really have to, but this time of year, you know, big fish mooching on the edges, you're every chance of the fish of a lifetime. So 8's about as light as I tend to go. On the big lures, I will go up to like 12 because there's fish in here that I really want to get. Let's keep going. That's good. I'm going to go and fish in the wind where it's real messy and really cold. So bizarre, like, look at a weather forecast, normally you'd be like, I ain't going anywhere, but when it comes to this, you see snow or wind or whatever and you just go, it's time to go. You grab all your warm clothes and you knuckle down because the fishing is good and the fish are generally pretty big. I love it. As much as you don't feel like necessarily drinking because it's cold, it's really important that you do, because you're up so high, the altitude, but also just this environment, you actually end up really dehydrated. So keep drinking. Tea and coffee isn't necessarily the answer either. Like a good drink, something that rehydrates you, is what you need. Just keep sipping on that and you'll feel heaps better through the day. Got ya. There we go. On the yabby plastic. Love these trout here. You get them and they're all different colours. Some are silver and some are gold and some have got lots of spots and some have got none. You never know what you're going to get. Please stop. There we go. Look at that. Little male. There we go. Cool. Not an overly big one. Probably what you'd call more of a normal sized trout, but he jammed that pretty good. Sweet. Let him go. Good looking little fella. Got ya. That was a proper bite. Oh. How's this? I've gone to the bigger yabby and straight away it bites. Yeah, it's funny. I had the little yabby on and when they're eating this, it's just going like clunk, which I'm not surprised with because a yabby that big, they can't really just muck around with. They've got to drill it pretty hard. It's a nice fish, this one. Oh. Obviously in a bit of a patch here, and while the trout aren't schooling, they'll definitely, you know, gather up and hunt in an area that's productive. So, you know, I'm a big fan that if I get one fish, that's good. If I get two in a stretch, I'm looping around, I'm going back because there's a fair chance there'll be more. Or you leave it for an hour or so and then come back. There we go. That's a really nice fish. Nice male. He has jammed that. I just love them. I think because I grew up catching them. I'll pop that out. There we go. I'll send this guy back. You can feel the yabbies in his guts. You can actually feel the hard bits in his stomach. Give him a sec, you don't need to rock him back and forth. Yes. Where's my big one? That's what I'm after. I mean, these are great fish, but I'm after a really good one. All right, we'll go in the boat quickly and then let him go. Okay, stop it and you can go back. Let me pop this hook out. You see what I was talking about before, that when you find one, you'll often find a bunch, and this bank's produced multiple bites and fish. So it's funny, a lot of people think, you know, trout are just little insect eaters, but they are proper predators. They've got a big mouth on them. It's made for chowing down on big food sources. So, all right, I'll get this guy back, give you a quick look. And there is millions of fish in this lake. And this is Eucumbene, but you know, Jindabyne's the same. These snowy lakes, and these are self-sustaining, these guys. They go up the Eucumbene River and spawn and do their thing and grow big and fat. So, he's off. Got you. That's a good one. I sort of thought, just by the head shakes on this one, that he might be a decent one. And I was just about to sort of, I got to anchor us because there's some big rocks there and I don't need us to drift into them. I was like getting to the end of the drift. I was just about to pull up, go up and have some lunch because I'm hungry. I thought I'll just fish these couple of boulders here. That's a nice looking one. We better let this guy go. Although he would be yummy. You've got to watch these big ones. They'll sort of lead you into a bit of a false sense of security, and then they do this big sort of crocodile roll, which he's done there, and wrapped himself up. That's a good fish. That's a real one. This is the ones I come to catch. I love these guys. Look at this. You can't tell me that that is not a great looking fish. Big male, big gob. He has jammed that lure. Even the bite, it just felt really solid when he ate it. I am stoked with that. All right, I'm going to get that hook out. Let's give it a quick flip on the mat. And we got what is he, 60, 62, 63. Nice fish. Pop him back. Go down, sulk on the bottom for a while, and then go and murder some more yabbies. That's what they do. All right, after that fish, I am going to have some lunch because I'm starting to get cold, which is a fair sign that you need food in this part of the world. So while I make lunch, I'm going to gut one of these trout that I caught earlier and show you what's in their stomach. It's a real fly fishing thing that the guys do, so they know what bugs they're eating to match the flies, but I'll show you what they look like when they're full of yabbies. All right, lunch is cooking, and I'm just going to open this guy up to show you. What he's been up to. Watch this. This one's not chockers, but he's certainly got a few yabbies in him. There's a claw. All right. There's more claws. Now watch this. I know it's a bit messy, but he has been having a wow of a time. There you go, and that one's not even really that full. Some of them are absolutely busting, but it gives you an idea. Give me 1 second. Watch this. So you can see there, he's crunched down on that yabby when he's eating it, the holes in the head. Wonder why they're eating that. How's that for a bit of match the hatch? All right, so there you have it. That is worth doing it for a lot of your species, especially like when tuna are being fussy. If you catch one, open him up. He could be eating whitebait this big, he could be eating souries, and from that point you can really match the hatch on your lures or whatever you're using to try and catch those fish. But to me, it says yabbies are on the menu. All right, I was talking about them being great eating, and this is what it's all about. So that bright orange meat, that is quite simply because they're on a high protein diet, being the yabbies. So they are unbelievable eating. You can have them as sashimi if you want, but smoked or just pan fried, I love the fish out of here. I absolutely love them. So once you've cleaned the fish and washed him out, just cut open the bloodline in the backbone there. And then I'm using my coffee spoon for the boat. Get a spoon. You can use anything, but a spoon does it so well. Look at this. Just scrape that out. All right, then you just rinse that. And your fish is nice and clean. How's that red meat? So good. It's nice to be able to go fishing and get a feed too. Like so much of what I do, I'm letting fish go, but I do like to keep a couple of these. And you certainly don't have to worry about them going off because it is that cold. Also, if you're interested to know a bit more about the gear that I'm using, all the links are in the description, so you can see the rods, the reels, the lures, all that sort of stuff, so you can get up here and catch these guys yourself, because this is heaps of fun. It's also about having the warm clothes. You need that. All right, I'm going to gut all of these guys, eat my lunch, and then, I don't know, do I head in or do I keep fishing? Probably keep fishing.